Rolling with the triple C, I'ma make him bend the knee. Rolling with the triple C, don't really count the heat.
Guys, so this video right here is brought to you by the one and only Jimmy Bar. You guys know my fight is getting sooner. I'm 5 weeks away. How is it that I'm losing weight? How is it that I'm staying healthy? I go with the non-gluten-free bar. That's right, Jimmy Bar. You guys go to a local Walmart near you and get all your favorites, from cookies and cream to caramel, chocolate, to the orange flavors, to all that, to the whole nine. My mouth is getting watery just thinking about it. But give a big shout out to the one and only Jimmy Bar. So you guys make sure to go get your Jimmy on. It's a do or die conversation here today with Israel Adesanya. You know, I can put myself in his shoes. I mean, is the fourth time a charm against a guy like Alex Pereira? It's a tough one because I've been in this position before with Demetrius Johnson. The second time I fought Demetrius Johnson, it's like, you know, if you fight somebody, if you get stopped once and if you lose the other one, like the chances of you getting another shot are very, very slim. But in this case, they gave me that opportunity. I was able to get the actual victory. But what happens if Israel Adesanya is unable to get that victory? Is Alex Pereira just that kryptonite? How long does he have to wait? Does he go up to light heavyweight to try to claim another title in another division to avoid right now the kryptonite Alex Pereira? I mean, there's a lot in stake. I mean, there's a lot of questions that I have as a fighter for a guy like Israel Adesanya. Who is it that you added to your team? What is your game plan? What is your tactics? Because if you're going to fight him the same, I do believe that if there's a person that makes great adjustments, it is Alex Pereira, especially in the stand-up game. He was able to press forward in that fifth round to able to get that stoppage. Yeah, you're winning. You know, you're winning 3 rounds. It was 3-1 going into the fifth, and Alex Pereira was able to come press forward, bring the heat, and then eventually get that stoppage. But where does that leave a guy like the style bender? Somebody who's given back to the sport of mixed martial arts. Somebody who has brought theatrics, a character to the UFC. Is this a do-or-die position? Is he just going to be a gatekeeper? Is he going to have to wait for Alex Pereira to transfer over that belt in order for him to get that crack once again in the middleweight division if he loses this fight? The fight hasn't happened yet. Do I believe Israel could win? I do believe that he could win. I do believe if he fights smart, there's a couple ways and a couple areas that Israel could do to eventually win that fight. And one's going to be his point fighting. Don't turn it into a slugfest with this guy. Don't throw it into a slugfest with a guy that's the Francis Ngannou of your damn weight class. A guy that has a crazy right and left hook and that knows how to kick. If I was your coach, there's 2 options. I point fight. I win the distance game. I change my stance. I'm not so out there with that front leg, but I point fight. I use my speed because you are faster than this man. Or 2, I bring in the surprise of the arsenal of wrestling because you did have 6 minutes and 32 seconds of control time the first time, the third time you guys fought in mixed martial arts. I mean, there's keys to victory for Israel, but you know, this is where the IQ comes in. This is where the competitor meets the fighter. This is where the fighter needs to become a better competitor than he is a fighter. You guys understand what I'm saying? This is why legends are better competitors than they are actual fighters. These are I mean, guys, you think of guys like John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, George St. Pierre, they're better competitors. They know when to pull triggers. They know when to hold back. They know when to bring the heat. They know when to bring that pressure. If Israel Adesanya does lose to Alex Pereira, it's like, yeah, there's nothing else you could do. I mean, the UFC could do another fight if they want, but that means maybe down in the near future, and Israel will have to go on a 10-fight win streak in order for him to maybe get another title shot. But this is a do or die, and I think Israel kind of knows that, or he should know that, or that should motivate him to be in the back of his mind. But I think Israel is that type of guy that will take that motivation and strive by it and be motivated by it, because you know I can understand as a performer. You know, I can understand some of the things that he does, like the the writing and the thing, and then the glove, and then the blah, things like that. I get it. It's added pressure, but that added pressure is also what makes Israel Adesanya too, because he knows that you want more eyeballs on you. You see what I'm saying? In other words, Israel is a businessman. Now, how is it that the businessman Israel Adesanya can bring that into the sport of mixed martial arts in order for him to have a better opportunity of literally being this man? Do I believe he could beat him 100%? But because it's happened 3 times already, Israel could make that transition. But and Alex Pereira, his power, the strength in his hands, his commitment of traveling to Thailand and doing his training camp out there, and him talking about I need to diversify my fighting, getting different looks from taller opponents like Israel, like himself. I mean, the dude is eager. The dude, and in the UFC, or at least in MMA or in sports in general, you are not considered a world champion until you actually defend your belt. I mean, think about that for a minute. And I think that's something that Alex Pereira is going to be up against. You are not considered a true world champion until you actually defend your belt. And in this case, he's defending against a guy who's defended his belts, I don't know, I want to say 5 to 6 times, I want to say, against tough competitors like Yoel Romero, Robert Whittaker, Calvin Gastelum, Jared Cannonier. This list goes on. As much as I like to talk trash, like Israel has done his fair share of great things in the UFC. And if Alex Pereira is able to get this victory once again, he has the ability of taking one more fight and then eventually going up to light heavyweight. And that's where I see it. I can see a guy like Alex Pereira, if he does win this fight against Israel Adesanya, I could see him challenging Robert Whittaker. And I think if you beat Robert Whittaker, then that means your next shot would be at the light heavyweight division. Right now, the light heavyweight division is so up, and I think that would fit Alex Pereira super, super well. What you got for me, Michael?
Yeah, only thing I wanted to add, I thought it was interesting that we both caught up with Daniel Cormier this past week, and he said the only time he ever saw that you were nervous was the first time that you fought Demetrius Johnson, and that's obviously when you lost. So what when you were entering that second fight and you had that pressure of you lost that first time, was it like different? Were you almost like, hey, I have nothing to lose now that I got knocked out the first time?
No. But I don't know where Daniel. I'm surprised Daniel thought I was nervous that first fight. If there's a fight that I was probably a little more nervous for, just because I knew it was the do or die, was actually that second fight. That first fight when I fought Demetrius Johnson, I thought I was gonna drag him through the mud. I ended up losing. Obviously, I ended up getting TKO'd. That second fight, I knew what this man was capable of doing. But it was also that challenge. I also knew that it was almost like, to me, I want to put myself in Israel's shoes, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? Demetrius Johnson caught me, and he caught me good, and he did beat me. He didn't TKO me to the body, which is horrible. I think it's the most discouraging way of actually losing. But I saw it as a motivator. I knew that there are certain tricks that I had up my sleeve, or certain words, that I had up there. And like the biggest one was like, hey, the key word of being Demetrius Johnson was composure. I couldn't react to a lot of things that Demetrius Johnson was doing because he's super fast. He was throwing a lot. You don't know if he's going to take you down, or he's going to kick you, or he's going to punch you. You don't know if that level change is coming up with the right hand, or if that level change is literally going to go down your legs to take you down. You see what I'm saying? So I think if there was one fight that I was more nervous for, was probably that second one, just for the simple fact that I knew it was do or die. I knew this was my last shot at the title, and the way that Demetrius Johnson's title reign was going, he was going for his 12th title defense. His record stands till today. 11 title defenses going for his 12th. I ended up beating him. I ended up out-competing Demetrius Johnson, and this is where I see the fight with him and Israel Adesanya. Israel, you can't fight. You can't fist fight a guy like Pereira. You can't. You've done that already. You have to find a way to outcompete him. And if you find a way to outcompete Alex Pereira, then I'll give you more benefit of the doubt. But if you're going to go toe-to-toe, check hook with check hook, kick with kick, guys, I just have to go with the leaner guy who the mathematics just makes sense. You see what I'm saying? I got to go with the guy that's three versus your 0. But if you're able to compete, if you're able to bring the tackle game, if you're able to point fight, if you're able to do things to convey these 3 judges on how to win or how that you're going to win this fight, then Israel, I will go with you 110%. So thank you guys again for watching. It means a lot to me. So you guys remember, there's more breakdown, there's more technique, there's more tactics, and there's definitely more cringe. So make sure to subscribe and click on that button. I'm out!